Welcome
Welcome
to Shade in
in
the
the
City.
city.
I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and today we are here to do our recap of the Real Housewives of Dubai season 2, episode 5. What was the name of this episode? I had it, but something about
A
telephone.
new home and a game of telephone.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Shout out to the co-host for being on her job. So yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, all of our 1,000 plus subs, Shade Squad, you already know the drill. Please make sure that you hit the like button. But if you're new here and you like what you see, you can hit the like
Hit
button
that subscribe button.
and the subscribe as well. But yeah, y'all. So let's jump into this episode and let's get shady.
I got a Slurpee today.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we open up the episode. We see Stansberry. She's inviting the ladies out for a little brunch or a little lunch in the desert. Stands and basically makes it clear in this message. I have to preface this. She says, "Hey, wear something that you can do activities in, i.e., Ion. Do not show up in a gown." She said it very clear, singled out Ion, but I understand why she did because she apparently is the only one that doesn't get the memo or does not care. Now, they're planning for Sergio's family to visit and in their new home, which is still in a disarray. Ion arrives to do a tour of the new home. And then they stop by the potential baby room. Now, first of all, the house.
It was funny because Ion got in the house even after getting this text message about the ball gown. She's like, "You sent me a message 10 minutes ago telling me not to wear heels. Are you crazy?" She was like, "I'm not removing these shoes." I was like, "This is so." She's got on gloves. I think even if she got the message an hour ago, as she was before she left the house, she still was
Ion's defense. You have this nice new house and this nice new marble. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm just gonna wear gloves so I don't get no streaks.
But you gonna wear heels?
Hey, I ain't say all that. So then they stop by the potential baby room, and Ion questions how they would be on a different floor than their baby. So then Stansberry's like, "Well, I'll have a nurse, just like I did with all my other kids." And then Sergio is not in agreement with this and wants their baby to be near them. And then Ion says in her confessional that she can see Sergio really wants a baby and thinks that if Stansberry isn't able to give him one, that the marriage isn't going to work. So Ion reveals as they sit down to eat that she had a conversation with Yasmin at the Good Riddance party. And I said, well, Yasmin is out here yapping. Okay, she out here talking to everybody but her mama, it sounded like. Or maybe her mother's just not listening. And she shared that she didn't want them to have a baby because she was primarily raised by nannies. Now, we just heard her plan to not even have the baby on the same floor and have the nurse. So I'm just saying.
Stansberry said I had jobs. I had things to do. I had money to make.
Right. She's trying to defend herself. She was like, I was running a huge business. And Ion stresses that Yasmin's feelings are still very valid. And that basically she doesn't want a sibling that has to grow up alone. We did see a preview of the conversation where Yasmin was like, at least I had my brothers and we grew up together, but this child is not going to have that. Now I think her youngest one is like 9 or something like that, Zach. So that would be, I think that's his name. So that would be 9 years. They would still grow up together, but yeah, I imagine he won't be around too much longer.
And he's a boy. Well, I guess
right. Sergio says Yasmin basically can't control her mother's happiness and plans on being a very hands-on father and hopes that they have a fun baby. And I said, that's how you know. I mean, granted, everybody wants like a good baby, as they say. You know what I'm saying? But this idea of fun baby, that's how you know you ain't had no babies around you, because babies aren't fun. They're cute to look at, but the things that they do and the work that they take, nothing.
Sometimes they're fun to watch.
Right.
But I mean, babies, no, they're not fun.
Right. I say, well, bless Sergio's poor little heart. But I just didn't like the one thing I didn't like about this scene is Sergio's comment, well, Yasmin can't control her happiness. And I said, well, maybe this is why this little girl feels a way towards you, because it's almost like y'all are competing for Stansberry's attention.
They're like close in age, girl. What I thought of when he said it was, she's not trying to control her happiness. You are. She don't want no kids. You're the one changing that.
And maybe she's really hearing what her mother's saying, because again, when her mother wanted kids, she's already telling you how she grew up. And that's when her mama wanted them or had them. Mm-hmm. Now she really doesn't want one. Do you think she's going to be more hands-on? Just my thoughts.
So Taleen and her husband took the kids and the nanny to go.
Rafi. His name is Rafi.
That's still her husband.
Okay, I'm just saying. Rafi.
Okay. That's her man. That's her man.
I'm just saying, it'd be different when we didn't know his name. But
that's her husband, child. That's Taleen's husband. Okay. Look, he ain't got no confessional. Look. Okay, basically, and she's now for me, she done told the kids and the nanny to go on play with the bunnies and the ducks, so she can bring up a whole conversation she don't want to talk about. She decides to tell this man she's been dreaming about having a baby boy with blue eyes. So of course, he gets on the baby boy train and wants to have this conversation about him wanting his boy. Now she let him know he doesn't know basically about wanting another kid because, sorry, you really wasn't real hands-on, okay? And
she's just getting back to herself,
and she had a tough pregnancy, and then she let him know, basically, and really, I mean, he really didn't offer her anything with that. He didn't say like, okay, well, I'm going to be more. He was like, how you expect me to be?
Because he paying a bit. He
probably like, we got that nanny over there to do every damn thing for you. Now lay down and have my babies, girl. Okay. So then she let him know about, the spot that, like her and Lisa are in. And, basically she said that, I'm sorry, the argument that her and Lisa had. And she said that she wants to move forward and let it go. But then she got a call at 2 a.m. from Brooks telling her that Stansberry told Lisa basically she don't know why Taleen pulled her away from the table because they ain't even friends like that. So what Taleen do? She picked up the phone and called Stansberry. She went straight to the horse. Okay.
So I wonder if they still on Eastern Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time, because I just feel like they be up making phone calls real early in the morning, like they on a different time zone.
The only one I'm surprised that's up that late, which apparently she is all the time, is Brooks, because Brooks stay at her job. So everybody,
I have to look that up. I wonder what the time difference is between here and Dubai. Because I'm just like,
well, when they say 2 a.m., I would think that they mean 2 a.m. their time, not our time.
But I'm wondering because why are you up? Not saying you can't be up. I'm up at 2 a.m.
I'm about to say,
but I'm not making phone calls. Mostly everybody is asleep.
Sometimes you already on the phone at 2 a.m.
But that's different. I was already on the phone.
So
I wasn't calling you, waking you.
Brooks was like, girl, I got some tea to spill. I got something to tell you. It cannot wait till the morning. Okay. So Taleen, she went straight to the horse. She called Stansberry and asked her, of course, Stansberry said, no, that's not what happened. So then Stansberry calls Lisa and found out that basically Brooks had it all wrong. She was basically confused about the conversation. And, she feels like Brooks, there's a lot of instigating. And her husband basically told her, listen, you need to have a conversation with her, sit her down and tell her, this is not the type of mess you want to hear. Okay. Stop instigating, be a good friend, do what I told you to do, and stop coming to me with this BS.
Well, it's an 8-hour time difference, by the way. So in
here?
Yes.
She's been there forever. It's not 10 o'clock.
I'm just saying, in her mind, she's still on.
No, she's not. She ain't lived in LA in forever. She said it's 2 o'clock in the morning where she at. She's on 2:00 in the morning time.
Then we see Lisa on the job. And she talks about how well Mina Rowe is doing and how Rich, which we know is the CFO, has been very happy with the numbers, okay? Because we know that he's a numbers man. Lisa says she wants her site to be a one-stop shop for all moms. And then we see her being very hands-on at her shoot, even going to put on her, pregnancy panties, or I forgot what they call it. It's a special name. But anyway.
Oh, you just call them pregnancy panties?
Oh, well, I guess. And so basically she talks about how she has to schedule everything. She has an alarm for everything.
That was so funny because literally that is my phone all day, every day. I have an alarm for everything.
I definitely don't.
It goes off all day, every day. So when her phone kept going, I was like, that is so my phone.
Okay. And then, yeah, we see her run out because her alarm goes off. She has to go pick up her boys. But that's pretty much Lisa.
She was on mommy duty. All right, so we have Sarah and Maki. I'll call him Maki. They went on a date with Akeem. I thought this was different. Okay. Now she commented on basically how he was camouflaging in with the restaurant, and Maki said it's because he's the caramel man. He's giving caramel seduction. I was like, oh, okay, Maki. All right. I mean, I agree.
Okay.
Now apparently, Akeem babysat Maki the day before. She said she wanted to test and see how they get along because this ain't just about her. This is about her son too, and he needs a daddy. Okay. Apparently, this man drove around to 5 different gas stations to find a Slurpee, and then took him to go play some basketball. Maki said that they had such a good time, and then asked Akeem when he was going to be his daddy.
Just straight outright.
Of course, Sarah's super embarrassed and apologized, and Maki basically stood 10 toes and said he'll be a great father. So,
what you waiting on?
What can we get an answer, sir? Okay.
He's cute, outspoken, but cute.
Oh, you talking about Maki?
Oh, Akeem's cute too, but Maki's very cute.
You don't think Akeem look kind of young?
He do, but
I mean,
but apparently Sarah know how to bag him.
I'm mad. I didn't look up who Ion said that she was with before because she said
I think it was a soccer player, but
I thought she said an actor.
Oh, don't get me lying. Look, apparently Sarah
she picked him
because I feel like season 1 it was a soccer player, but anyway. So then we see Stansberry go to visit the OBGYN to discuss her baby boy embryo. The doctor tells her he'd like to basically implant this embryo before she turns 50. Stansberry is still on the fence about surrogacy because her surrogate would likely be in America because I don't think they allow them to do surrogacy in Dubai. So Sergio says he wants to see, basically he's all for seeing Stansberry barefoot and pregnant.
What got me was the doctor told her, yeah, if you can't carry the baby, you can transport the embryo to another country. She said, I mean, if 9 months, I might forget until the baby get delivered to me.
We don't need her to have no more detachment.
Right?
And then the doctor shares a photo of their embryo, and Sergio starts to gets emotional when viewing the picture. He wants more than anything to be a father, but he realizes that Stansberry is not as excited. So that kind of, puts him in his feelings. And production asked her if she's ready for a baby in a year. And Stansberry admits she's not a great baby person, but she loves puppies.
One thing I love about Stansberry, she is honest.
Yeah, you got to respect her honesty. I mean, even the scene with his family, I was like, oh my God.
So we have a few of the ladies meeting up for the first day of Ramadan. Sarah brought Akeem, and everybody is
in awe.
Dreamy. Okay, this man is dreamy. They are impressed with how hot he is. Ion even called him the giraffe man. Okay, but said basically this is Sarah's type. Okay, this is what she picks. She likes them sizzling hot. I really need to find out who the hell.
And I said, y'all might as well have gave what's the name? A piece of gold. The way she over here hosting events.
Who's that one?
Saba.
Oh,
You done already gave her a confessional. You might as well give her a piece of gold and let her sit up there with y'all. She ain't a real cast member to be out here hosting events, but okay.
So everybody is asking him questions, about work and when he's moving to Dubai, and Sarah's sitting back just letting it happen. Like, don't interrogate him. Yeah, but go ahead, go interrogate him. Okay, so everybody just thinks that they look beautiful together. They love their connection, and Brooke really admires their connection and feels that he would be great for her son as well. She said this is what she wants for herself. Now they bring up.
Am I the only one that felt like
what?
Brooks want that for herself? All right.
She basically said it. She
said,
not the scene.
Sarah, you better be hip to the cues.
They asked her how iftar was. She said,
"Look,
the man I was staring across from was just dreaming.
Look, mess around. Don't have a Sonny on your hands."
Child, don't nobody need no Sonny. So then they bring up mommy guilt and touch on Lisa and want to know, if she's going through anything because of the way she's been snapping lately. Ion mentions that, her mom did leave. She has 3 kids. She works and she could be overwhelmed, but then also let them know, but listen, you got a question for her, you go ask her. Because what I'm not about to do is talk shit or talk about my bestie behind her back. Okay? Go talk to her personally. I said, oh, okay, well. All right, Ion. Put them in their place, boo.
Was it just me, or did you pick up on the fact that and I thought it was kind of sad, but because I was wondering why all the girls weren't there, but I guess it's only the girls that like are, Muslim or celebrate the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think Ayan was Muslim, but then she said that she did celebrate Ramadan growing up because that gave her mother an excuse of not having to worry about how to feed them.
Yeah.
Or them eating all day. And I said, damn, that's crazy.
I did hear that. I don't necessarily always take what she says seriously. And I did feel like there was like some truth to it, but I didn't take it like, and she could have been dead ass serious. I just didn't think.
I think she made it light of it.
Yeah.
It just made me wonder, like, damn, that's crazy. Like, now don't get me wrong. If you get to eat like this, I was like, maybe I need to fast. If I can eat like that up until the morning, let's do it. But yeah, I don't know about going on that. Now, Taleen and Brooks, they link up for dinner. She asked about the Ramadan meetup. As we know, Brooks lets her know
she had to say was about
a king. She was, drooling the whole time. Taleen brings up how Rafi is still on her about, trying for a boy. And then Taleen says she's just really getting back to finding herself after the first 2 and, is basically hesitant. But still brings up the conversation, as Nell says. Now, Taleen mentions that Brooke is losing a lot of weight. And, Brooks admits that she's been working a lot. And Taleen is concerned and says she looks like a very thin astronaut.
And I don't know if it's because maybe it's because she's on camera. People look different in person, but to me, she looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brooks looked good, but she could look thinner, I guess, in person. But coming across camera, I think she looks good.
I thought she looked fine. I didn't think she looked too. I did feel like, okay, you may have lost a little bit of weight, but I didn't think it was. Put it like this. I'm not gonna lie. If I was Brooks, this would have already put me. Well, you know how I feel about my weight anyway. But this would have already put
a little bit.
Yeah, because if you can pull, and granted, the conversation was filmed, but I feel like something of that severity, if you're really concerned, like that's something you would have told me off camera.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like, if I was Brooks, I would have been ready. Like, all right, we going toe to toe. We on camera now. Now you feeling froggy? Leave, bitch. Let's go.
So is cameras still adding a couple pounds on you?
10 pounds. They're supposed to.
I mean, 10 pounds is a lot. I mean, now if 10 pounds, if cameras are still adding 10 pounds on you, then I could see how, if I'm looking at her now, how she could be you know,
Very small,
looking
yeah.
very small in person. Yeah.
So Brooke says she's fine and brings up Stansberry inviting them to the desert and not really knowing how to receive that after being uninvited to the good riddance party. Taleen tells her she wants to be honest with her and basically says that she thinks she tends to instigate behind the scenes. So she brings up her calling after the Queen's dinner, and Brooke stands on, that's what Lisa told me. So I was going to report back to you because Stansberry is not really your friend. Do you want people to talk about you and me not tell you? And so, she feels like she was protecting Taleen, but, Taleen doesn't really agree. And then Taleen takes another dig and calls her the queen of the telephone game. And then Brooks feels like Taleen is choosing to believe her friend of 10 minutes versus her friend of 10 years and is stabbing her in the back. And so Brooks, tells her that she's just being direct. And Taleen tells her, nope, you're stirring the pot. And I said, well, this is not going to end well.
And this is not how her husband said to have this conversation. He told her to watch how you come across.
Right. And so Taleen is shocked by Brooks' reaction and tells her that she just wants to move forward. And Brooks is clearly not on that same page, and they get up and leave.
She said, "There's no moving forward." She said, "I'm good."
And I knew from when they got up from the table, I said,
you can even kind of see the way she looked at the camera as she was walking away from the table. Attitude, she like, yeah, all right, like mess with me if you want to.
Not even that. I think, and again, y'all know I love to play advocate. But in Brooks's defense, because she do be on Twitter, she's back on Twitter now, responding to the backlash and her kind of being painted as the villain this season. And I will say, I'm not saying you owe me blind loyalty by any means. I don't think that. However, I do think that if I'm looking at it from Brooks' perspective, I brought you on this show or I introduce you, and then you come on here and it seems like every time the camera cuts on, now all of a sudden you don't agree with me, you're going against me, it seems real. I can understand. I'm trying to understand, or I can somewhat understand what Brooks' position is.
Why
not saying that I think Taleen is wrong. I'm just saying that I can understand, because I do feel like in a way you can definitely see this particular season that they've focused in on Brooks, and Brooks the same way they did the first season with Stansberry, but I don't think they had to focus on it. Stansberry was just because Stansberry's still that same person.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference is she doesn't look as much of the villain because Brooks is now being painted as that. So we're now more focused on Brooks being the villain and stirring up the pot. But Stansberry's still doing the same thing she was doing season 1.
Is it wrong if she expected blind loyalty?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on your friendship. Because I would never, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't picture me being on a show and then you coming on or us going on a show together. And I don't care what other, like, I would be I hear what you're saying and you can ask me questions about my sister. But what I'm not going to do is really give you a response. And if you really want to ask her, you should ask her.
Yeah, I mean, I know they brought up the blind loyalty thing and they didn't really get into it, but I didn't see anything wrong if she was expecting blind loyalty. I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Because I think Brooks was giving that to her, and I think that's why she's so hurt. Because she was like, I had your back. Because
it has nothing to do with the show. We were friends.
Right. Because even the whole reason why we're in this whole situation is because I was defending you because she was out here talking about your poom poom being in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I had blind loyalty, even though I talked to this girl every day, I was ready to put my foot down for you. So I understand where, same reason why she's pissed off at Stansberry. I rocked with you, even when these other girls didn't last season. And now all of a sudden that you try to be more friendly, now you can throw me to the curb. So I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I'm just saying, play an advocate. Like I said, I think if you look at it from Brooke's point of view, she may have some valid points. And to Nels' point, depending on the friendship you have, maybe blind loyalty is required.
Moving on
from
this unloyal.
Sergio.
from this unloyal ass bitch. Okay, so Sergio's family has arrived. Stansberry is basically having a shit fit because a piece of her TV stand is chipped. As they're coming in the house, she's on the phone complaining about the fact that this has happened. Now, she said she gets along with his family now, but she needs a break from him, so she's getting the hell out of there and heading to the desert for lunch with her girls. The ladies begin showing up for this desert lunch. Of course, Ion did not follow the dress code by any means, okay? And she said she didn't read the message. She said she wasn't paying attention, but I think she read it and said, I'm going to wear a huge ass ball gown just because you don't want me to wear one. Apparently, Stansberry had a party bus waiting for them, but it broke down. So she had a jitney pick them up.
I said the same thing. I said, so she basically had a jitney.
Mm-hmm. Now she
had no AC. I felt bad. I know Ion was suffering.
They said that. Look, the lady said that she hates us. She hates us. There's no way. Okay. Now she brought her friend Juliana, and telling her basically she would be surprised if the ladies even showed up after the minivan she sent for them, and she knows that they're pissed. And yes, they are. They're in this minivan with no AC, makeup on, this damn dress they got on, feeling like Stansberry can't stand their ass. Okay, but they did arrive to luxury cars that they'll be taking to the lunch. So, and they were provided by Juliana's husband's collection. Apparently, they collect cars in Dubai. Okay, you can have a little tiny house and $2 million worth of cars. It's a thing. It's a thing there. Okay. Now, Taleen and Stansberry rode together. Of course, she wants to tea on that. What happened on the conversation that happened the night before. She lets her know that she tried to tell Brooks that she's an instigator, and it turns into World War III. Stansberry loves the fact that Taleen doesn't really just go with, the flow of whatever Brooks is saying. So, she feels like they locked in, ain't no switching up. Now, the ladies, they get to lunch.
Is it just me? I felt like she got too much enjoyment out of that.
Oh, she did. She definitely did. She definitely did. So the ladies are out, to lunch in the desert, and everybody wants to know about the giraffe man and Sarah. And if Sarah's kissed him, she said, absolutely hell not. Okay, that's not how this works. She said she's going to introduce them to her family, in the next 2 or 3 months. And then, the plan is to get married. Okay, that's how they work in the Muslim culture. Nobody believes her ass, though. Nobody. Lisa thinks it's disrespectful that they're even asking her because it's forbidden. Okay, now, huh?
It's haram.
Oh, look at you. Okay, all right. We done took down the word. Okay.
I told you it's like 90 Day Fiance, girl. I'll be over here learning stuff.
Sarah said that, basically her mom, she ain't really taking her serious because she knows she makes bad decisions, which she does. But she said that, she explained to her that she's healing. She's doing her therapy thing and she's a better person now. Brooks said, she believes that therapy changes people and she loves the healing journey she's on. General consensus is basically Brooks, it's too fast.
Long enough.
It's too fast, and she ain't a changed woman just yet. Ion asked her, how does she get to this place where she's so calm? Taleen thought it was a good idea to jump in this conversation and say she's not calm, especially after the altercation we had last night. Taleen explained her side of what happened, and Brooks said, that basically she said that, she just ain't gonna tell her nothing no more, and she left it at that. Then they start going back and forth. Brooks said that she really doesn't care about this, and Taleen said, well, if you don't really care about it, we clearly weren't friends the way I thought we were. And Brooks said, yeah, okay, and that's fine. She said, that's fine. Bookie, you ain't hurting nobody.
Okay.
I said, oh okay. All right.
And then not even that, but this is why I say we got to really look at what's happening right now. Because the only reason why this was a discussion at the table is because Stansberry said when she was talking about her healing, she said, well, you ain't too healed because what you still getting upset. What about last night? Now she knew. And again, if I was Brooks, I would be pissed off too. Because clearly that means that you had a conversation with her
mouth about it.
And you let her know. And I'm already on you about your sense of loyalty.
Especially with her.
and where it lies, and you go run back and tell her, for her to throw it back up in my face in front of the rest of these girls and make this a topic of conversation that I wasn't even going to bring up.
Well, 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 well.
I'm just saying, Brooks, if you want to jump down in the comments, I would love to know your thoughts. But I'm just saying, it's a little, it is. I'm starting to see it for what it is. Again, we all need a villain, but y'all can't tell. I'm starting to see it for what it is. Okay. And they jumping on our girl. And I mean, Lisa's my girl, but I do love Brooks too. However, I do feel like they're going a little hard on her this season and painting her out to be like the Miss Bad. And maybe, yes, she may instigate and tell the stories wrong. I've been guilty of that myself. However, I think that one thing I can respect her for, her loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thoughts, but y'all jump down in the comments. Let us know what you thought about this episode. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure y'all hit that, subscribe, yeah.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And make sure y'all catch us on Tuesday for our live Hot Topics Sip and Shade chat. And again, we'll be one of the hot topics and we'll be celebrating our 1K. So yeah, come and join us and stop by. We'd love to say hi and say thank you. And yeah, for any new people that want to join, make sure you're there. So, and you hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. But yeah, y'all, we love y'all. Have a great weekend and a good night. Bye-bye.